gonna go for strength for sure because we're probably gonna be wearing plate eventually. And more strength past the encumbrance, the better. Hexes. Alright, so now we've got Invis, mostly castable. I guess we're gonna stop. Probably gonna start at 12. You don't really need like a super low fail rate, but 22% is still a little bit high. Didn't really envision training Hexes on this guy, but turned out to be some of the better spells I had available. Oh boy. Fire Giant and Yorgrun. Well, we need a flight. We're gonna passage. Nice. It's not what I wanted, my friend. Where is... Oh, I guess it's all... Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, okay. Gotcha. Well, that's my bad. Does he see Invis, by the way? He doesn't. Oh, interesting. Have on RF, okay. Yeah, so I forgot how this works. Once you already set one up, you want to set the next one up next to you. That's why. It only creates the initial one adjacent to you. And thanks to Mr. What's-his-face there. I don't really have a great plan. The Fire Giant's about the only real complication for this. Yorgrun can't see Invis, so he's probably going to get confused, but I can't really run from the Fire Giant. Yeah, from hit equal from the menu screen, and you can set a training target. Don't really want to use Spectral here because oh, I'm flying, that's good. Well, he might get engulfed, it might actually gonna abundance of caution. Yeah, that's cool. That's good. Very nice. He went down like well, he went down fast, let's just say that. This would be Yorgrun. Back on this. Okay. Yeah, so this is the noise factor that you don't really want. This is what I was saying before about vaults. You get stuck in these areas. Now for Formicid, this is like a death trap because this stupid stuff just keeps happening. You know, I keep killing stuff, and due to noise, more stuff comes into view, and it becomes this huge hassle that you don't want to deal with. Alright, that's hopefully most of the nonsense is done now. Really hope we don't have any more dumb hijinks. I was wrong, there's still a little bit more hijinks. They all got alerted to the noise over here. They all wanted to come over. There is a large shield. So that would be a very nice upgrade. That's the next thing we want to go for, is to get that up to 15 so that I can... Ugh, this crap. That's why I hate vaults sometimes. Just these, like, you get a layout like this and this one's really wide open all over the place. And that's why I hate Formicids, really, is what I'm trying to say. Everything is like this. Kind of limits what kind of builds you can really do with the species, because you have to be so paranoid all the damn time. Where the hell did all this come from? It's just too much damage all the time. I really want to upgrade this armor into something passable. We just don't have enough AC, and if I can get this shield up, that'll give us a big boost on SH, so we'll be able to do more in melee. But our AC is pretty bad. We just haven't had an amazing... Oh, Crystal Plate. I forgot about you. You know, you would be more attractive if I wasn't stuck using 0 spells and if I actually had enchant armor scrolls. Bolts 3 has been sort of unkind. Yeah, this one's like a lot of open space, and this will trip you up as a Formicid. Bolts 4 is going to be a little bit scary, to be honest. I could go try to do Shoals 4, but Shoals 4 is also kind of scary. So I assume we're still not anywhere with that. Yep. Is it doing that again? Man. Why has it been doing that so much recently? Hope that's not related to upgrading Chrome. But yeah, thanks. If anybody sees that, please report it so that, or mention it so I can refresh it. Don't know why it's been doing that so frequently. Oh, you know what? One thing I need to do on this. That's probably why. Maybe that will help. I didn't have the chat removed. I think I did, but I must have. Maybe refreshing the window removes that. It happens when people join, like, spectate. They like spectate at the right time when you're doing a menu switch, and I think it's a bug related to that. It's annoying though. Are you gonna come in the door, Vault Warden, or what? What's your problem? The main reason I'm stuck in here. Nice if you actually, like, you know, did something. To kind of carefully monitor what monsters are showing up here. Nothing too bad so far. Just, you know, usual thing of billions of monsters in Vaults 4. So these stairs. More stairs to have fun with. Do I have any charms trained up? Actually going to go ahead and just get 5. A little bit of spell power will not hurt there. Swift is actually, oh yeah, Swift is actually charms as well. I thought I had some charms. I see myself using that spell. Ghosts. Yeah, that had been, I thought that had been fixed by a commit. Oh, what? You take me, did you? That had been fixed by a commit that had been made recently, but apparently not. And yeah, it's basically some weird interaction with the way we have the WebTiles client handling spectator joins, and it's pretty annoying. Oh, this is another level with all these stupid wide open areas. Don't want it. Don't want it. I assume he convoked a bunch of stuff over here, but I don't see it. So I'm being very paranoid, as you can see, which might be a tad excruciating to watch, but I'm a Formicid and I just don't want to get caught in a bad place. Basically, the rule, if you're a Formicid, is nice, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Oh, it actually didn't lower my AC much. I do have potions of mutation, including another one I can buy someday. Well, I guess I could buy it now. So I'll probably mutate that away. But I might finish. What else did I get? Other capacities? Yeah, I guess I can mutate it now. It's magic to strengthen wands. Well, that can be a problem, but we'll live with that for now. Oh hey, ER -2. That's cool. It's rich. Yeah, that's what I figured you were going to throw some dumb crap like that at me. Don't want to get flayed while dealing with a lich, because that's no fun. Worried that this lich is going to show up around the corner. He needs immediate attention because he's a lich. They can have things that are very bad. Nice. Spectral Staff of Wizardry. That'll do it. You'll really get him with that, won't you? Oh, this is like not a good room to be. God damn it. How many times am I going to do that? That needs a not cast. Don't mark me. There's our friend the Lich. Why would you expire right then? Okay, well, that worked out. Not only a Lich, it was a Tengu Reaver. Oh, this hasn't really been too bad of a V4. See, now I'm saying it. Now somebody can call me out because look how much of this level's left. But I'm going to say it anyway. This hasn't been too bad of a V4. I don't care. Nothing bad is going to happen just because I say it. I'm not superficial, or superstitious. I'm not superficial either. Damn it, I did it again. I'm not superficial, nor am I superstitious. I'm neither of those bad things. Yep, pretty clever. Pretty clever. Oh, Skull of Blink that I cannot use. That was a lot of damage he did. There's our charms. Okay, we're good for all the little spell schools, I think. Oh yeah, we wanted to get back to shields. Crystal Guardian. Now that's a little spooky. I want to be sure that I'm not fighting anything else but the Crystal Guardian if I'm going to fight him. Also... Oh, I can LRD him. Oh. I have bad news for you, my friend. Oh, you're so hide not slide trying to... Nice try. But yeah, there are some monsters you can LRD and scout. Oh, you know what? I could have LRD'd the Bone Dragon. I forgot about that. Turned out that the Bone Dragon was... Oh, come on with the Convoke. Now how are you gonna... Every time those guys... I mean, I realize this level is mostly open space, but every time they show up... Yeah, you Demon Summoner and he blinks. What else is new? Always shows up in open space. It's not fair. This is what I'm talking about. Wonder if the fan would do much here. No, it didn't really do much. I don't want him to Hellfire me is the thing. Don't really have enough turns to passage effectively. Okay. He's not going to Hellfire himself, so weapon is alright. Just want to close the distance. I don't hit that Hellfire is really frightening. It seems like it's overkill to be cautious, but yeah, axes are pretty garbage. No, axes are Axes are just not as good as some other alternative weapon types. It's basically, the bottom line is this: the weapon types are not that dramatically different from each other on a basic level, so you can use any of them. The thing that I crap on is people thinking that cleave is like some super powerful or good effect, whereas 90% of the time you actually don't want to be using it. So cleave is almost never a means by which I decide to use a weapon. The thing that axes are good at is that for one-handers, they're a pretty good weapon type. They have broad axes are both pretty common, and they're just a good damage profile. Well, J-Boons, I play mostly to win my games. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you don't care whether you win or lose, like, you're just going by like, hey, that's fun, and it's fun to sit and hit tab. But to be honest, the more games you play, it's more fun to play different kinds of characters, and you kind of like variety, and you kind of like positioning a lot more. And there's positioning that goes into using cleave for sure, but a lot of the way people like to use it is just by not using positioning and just sort of turn it into a mindless tab fest, and that's not really interesting to me personally. So I don't have any like great appreciation for using cleave or anything. It is fun in some situations to figure out how to set your guy up to cleave well, but it's not really interesting on its own, at least not any more so than other kinds of positioning. And for one-handers, they're pretty good. For two-handers, they're not very good two-handers because you have battle axes are okay, but they're a ton of XP. Great maces are a lot better for two-handers. And if you go up to exec axes, sure, it's a wonderful weapon in terms of damage, but the XP you have to sink into it is pretty excessive for most species. So yeah, maces have really good. If you are going to go for a two-hander, I like great maces a lot. Logitongs are really awesome two-handers. Polearms have a similar kind of problem where Bardishes are really high skill, but polearms are really good early game weapons, and if you can find them, they're good one-handers as well. But they also have a bunch of actual utility that's pretty nice. But mostly maces and flails are my favorite weapon class, because they're highly available. Even the one-hander types, you've got like two different excellent weapons: Demon Whips, Evening Stars. Evening Stars are hard to find, but they're very good. And Demon Whips are not that hard to find. They're obviously not nearly as easy to find as something like a Broad Axe, but even a Morning Star is actually a really nice weapon if you just get one that's got a good profile, and you can always switch over to maybe a Demon Whip or an Evening Star later. So basically, maces and flails are my favorite weapon class. And polearms are just kind of neat for some of the positional advantages that they can get you. And it's actually an advantage in those situations, unlike where cleave, it's much less of an advantage most of the time. Yeah, for the demon weapons, Demon Whips are probably the most common. I want to say Demon Tridents are maybe the least. If you go into Extended, it gets weird because then they become pretty common overall. Yeah, it is really good. Polearms are especially good with Spectral, that's true, but I only just started using it. So I used axes because I think it was basically an early freezing battle axe was an early drop, and I do want to use two-hander because I am a Formicid. So it was basically just the best two-hander that dropped. If Dire Flail had fallen, I probably would be using that, but that didn't appear until very recently. And by then I've already trained. One cool thing about axes as well is they do cross-train with maces and flails, and that's great. So that makes using one for a while and then switching a viable thing. So yeah, maces and axes, and also axes are kind of cool because they cross-train with polearms. So from that point of view, they're nice, because if you start using an axe, you can switch over if you find a really great weapon of another class. So I do like that aspect of them. So maces, you can switch to an axe, or you can switch to a Logitong. Actually, there is a Logitong. That is a very good point. And I've got You know, I've got 4. That one's completely unbranded, unenchanted. Unfortunately, I don't have any cross trains, so yeah, all my skill is already in Axis, so it's not a good switch. Where was that? That was probably too late. Yeah, it was Spider 4. It's kind of too late for me to consider. Damn it. How many times am I going to do that? But yeah, I do use axes reasonably often, but I don't really prefer them in any way. It's mostly because broad axes are pretty darn good. And for two-handers, I would prefer like maybe a great mace probably. And if it's like a hill orc and you're +3, then it's a lot easier to get excited about axes because getting those really high skill levels is not so bad. Well, I guess Vaults really wasn't all that bad. This character is not that strong, but overall, we had some sort of close-ish calls, but I've had much worse. At some point, I really would love to commit to a weapon, though. This is the problem with a two-hander axe, though. It's impossible to find an exec axe if you're not worshipping Trog. And I do have enough cross-training with maces that I might consider, but not a great mace. Is there really? Oh, yeah. This could be big. Yep. We in there. Now that's some significant loss of skill, but honestly, we can stay with the battle axe for a little while until we get the skill up. This is a good enough brand that I'm not gonna really. So there we go. Now it is. Yeah, so what this will be is an effective base damage increase over the axe, which will be really nice. I'm all about, since I'm a Formicid and most of the areas I'm going to be going to from now on I can dig, I'll be all about kill holes, not going to be all about cleaving quite so much. So actually I'm going to focus maces for a bit. Where do we want to go next? Okay, and that's all the enchant weapon. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, I haven't even really finished this level. Well, I guess I did actually. Okay, we're going to use the Staff of Energy so I don't waste a lot of. This is 1, 2, 3. It's probably the best spot. Diagonal is pretty good.